Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Schmidt.
Brick by brick, baby.
I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smith. That's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. Got lots going on. Fresh off our college pick'em pool last week with the Army-Navy game. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Get in the pool now. It's the last chance for the College Bowl pick'em. It's $500, free to enter. All we ask is that you like, you subscribe, you tell a few
like
buddies.
forward,
I mean,
tell your buddy to get in, and tell your buddy to subscribe and like. Tell his girlfriend to get in. Get 2 entries. Have your girlfriend subscribe and like. Have your kids subscribe and like. Whatever.
Right. It's not like we're hanging you over a cliff to do this shit either. I'm just do it. Tell some friends. Get this shit going. But this is it. It's Thursday night. For those who don't know, it's Thursday night. The what is it? The 16th right now. The College Bowls kick off in the Bahamas tomorrow. I believe it's Bahamas.
12 noon in the Bahamas Bowl. And it's free money. Who doesn't need money? It's this is going to get paid out. I don't know, Smith. I mean, it may end before even we get to those bowl games. But when is the championship? Is what, early or mid-January? I guess January 11th. I want to say
the final. Yeah, right. You're gonna have action, regardless, up until January 11th or something. I think it is.
Right, and then there's $500 coming to you to pay off those holiday bills, Festivus, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. Christmas bills, right then, man. Right before that bill comes.
Right. Unbelievable. So yeah, $500. So congratulations to Scott. I want to shout out to Scott Wheatley too. Eskimo Joe's. That was in Stillwater, Oklahoma. He went to the Big 12 championship. I guess, but this is straight from Oklahoma State. Stillwater, Eskimo Joe's. Thanks for. My wife loves the socks. He even sent Webb. I even got some socks in my package, nice. Sweatshirt. So Scott Wheatley sending a swag. Hey, anything you want to send us, especially if you're promoting something, if you're promoting a bar or a restaurant or whatever, we're happy to do it. We'll take anything. Anything.
We are for sale. Looking for sponsors. We will go. We'll break this out like NASCAR. We'll come out here in a spacesuit, head to toe, tattooed with logos.
Yep. Yeah. Right. No doubt. And look. Speaking of stores and merchandise,
right
now we have a current brand new merchandise out. You can get it at our store. There's a link on the website. I have it all over our Facebook page, our Twitter. I put it out there. Go to the Wager Maker store. The links are out there. If you have any questions, get into it. We got hoodies. We got t-shirts.
Hoodies, water bottles,
iPhone case, and it covers all the different stuff. I'm waiting for get mine in the mail right now, so then I can start posting it on the show here and stuff, and try and help. So nothing sells merchandise, Webb, better than me modeling.
You are a model. You are. You move that swag. Right. I got some golf shirts coming too soon. I'm gonna and the hats. I gotta get some. I want to find some high-end hats. I can't do the Smith. I cannot do the. I'll get a couple of the Flex Fit, and I can't do the Flex Fit hat. It doesn't fit.
What's wrong? Not right. Not a good look on your head, or what? That's all I wear. That's all I wear.
I don't. I mean, the one thing I guess that's not big on my body is my head. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't fit right. It looks like it's a big I'm wearing a helmet. So
that's really all. I roll with it backwards, so I like it like this. I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool. We'll get some more swag, and but check out our store. And I think you can get stuff. Todd Lewis was asking about beanie caps. We don't quite have that yet, but I think you can get stuff, and you probably maybe not before Christmas at this point, but it's getting there. Anyway, congrats to Scott Wheatley after the long college pick and pool. We had the coin toss. Thanks to Devin for the coin toss last week. I'm still a little bit under protest with this thing. I know you don't like the tie, but it's ended in a tie. It's not like it was down to 2 people in Survivor and we decided to split it. Totally different thing.
Whatever. Scott Wheatley won. Congrats, Scott.
7 picks go down to 1, and there was no way.
Yes, that's how it works.
Once I won that goddamn coin toss and picked Army, everyone out there in America should have bet Navy.
You were the one I felt bad. Scott should have had Army, and then it just worked. Army sucked. That was an awful game, dude.
Terrible. I didn't even get the chance to watch it.
That's a big day around here. I go out with Nick, my man Little Rob, Mike Belfont, Johnny Morgan. We were out. It's a big day. It's annual, a thing here. Nick and Mike are reservists. So, but it was just like, dude, let's run the ball between the tackles again. Yeah. Way to change it up, guys.
Well, you know that going in, but I just thought Army was.
No, but the other team, Navy was throwing, threw the ball, and the Navy's quarterback gets hurt. We're like, oh, here we go. And the Army threw the ball in the first series right down the field, 7-0.
All right, well, we got that done. Scott Wheatley has been paid his $500. We get T-shirts out.
Good for him.
So
good for him.
And I haven't got the package yet. One of our best listeners, best contributors. So glad to go out. I think we're up in near 40 people range in the College Bowl Pick'em. There's links on our website, links on our Facebook page, everything for how to get on that.
Send that again. I'm sure there's going to be maybe another, I don't know, couple, maybe 5. I would like to, if we can get 5 more, that'd be great.
All right. So if you go to runyourpool.com, just so you know, the pool ID number is 181207.
Nobody's
181207, and the password is podcast.
No one's
That's
remembering
for people that are listening, but aren't on our website and all that kind of shit.
There's none of those people.
What?
I don't think there's any of that. That's 0. There's no one. All you got to do is go run your. If you did any of our other pools, go run your pool, click it, and then there's going to be a thing on there. You can get right into the. That's
but you need to. If you don't get that link, you need this numbers. That's what I'm saying. Like if you don't directly get the link.
Didn't I go? I just went to run your pool. Like on my phone, I got this thing. So when I hit it, and then it was like our other 2 things, and then the other big pool I was in.
That's because you're in there. This is what
I'm saying.
If you're not been a previous,
you've never been in. Right, you've never been.
Go to runyourpool.com. Pool ID 181207. And the password is podcast. That's simple. Webb, fantasy football, the Wager Makers Fantasy Football League, sponsored by the Buffalo Grill in Little Rock, Arkansas, for $500, is down to the final 4 playoffs. Okay. All right. The number 1 seed is Shelton and the Bulldozers.
So what is that? Who cares? Like who cares if you're number 1 seed? What difference does that make?
It's the playoffs. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like it would be.
Is there an advantage? Like there's an advantage.
No, there's no bye. You're playing to 4. If you're the 1, you play to 4. That's the advantage.
Right.
It's like any playoff. Look, we're just building this shit up. I'm not saying
it's not like a home game. Like, I don't know. It's
you play against the 4th team. Wouldn't you rather play against the 4th team that made the playoffs? Would you rather play Cincinnati, Webb, or Georgia? Which one do you want to play?
Is that comparable? Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If a team comes in 4th place, it's because they're not as good as the 1st place team. Just like if you're Alabama, do you want to play Georgia again this week, or do you want to play Cincinnati? Boom.
Alabama doesn't care who they play. They'd love to play Georgia again.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to get into that because I got some questions about even man, ordinarily I'd go SEC all the way, but I think maybe there's a chance Michigan, but we can talk about that. But all right, so he's playing Trey Scruggs and Bishop Sycamore. That's Danny Shelton and Bulldozers. And then me, New Orleans Smith, is playing Ninja Samurai. That's Chad Arnold. There was a little bit of there was a tie, Webb, and Todd and Lojo had a little bit of a beef with the tie-breaking situation. So in this league, and it's in the rules, we looked it up in the rules.
Well, that's right. Okay, then.
And in the other fantasy league that I'm in, it's the same tiebreaker. Like it ordinarily, and Todd said this, and we would probably agree. Ordinarily, head-to-head would be the first tiebreaker, but it's in the rules here. It's the highest score is the first tiebreaker. Points 4 is the first tiebreaker in this.
Well, you can't argue with that as long as it was set out in the beginning. I get his thing. Scott Wheatley didn't get in, huh?
Scott Wheatley did not get in. Lojo and Todd Lewis did not go in. Nick Perone and the interns did not make it. C. Really did not make it. Deuce Bohannon, Clay Sipes, Corey C. Really. And Anita Wheatley also did not make it in. Tom, down to 4. In the playoffs, last 2 games. Each game is 2 games. I know you don't know what that means, but that's all right. We're gonna go past that. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, let me know.
$500. Yeah, man. Why don't you come up with another idea of how we can give out $500 when I got a chance to win? Let me know. Hold on to $500.
I'll be waiting.
I forgot. This is what people wait for sometimes. Webb, this is podcast number 112.
112. It's shocking. Like I said last week, I told people it was 111. They're like, for real? I'm like, yeah, believe it or not, we did this 112 times. It's a shock to me. I'm more shocked than anybody. Believe me. This is again no brainer. The fucking Captain America, Roger Staubach. I'm not hearing anything about Tom Brady. I'm not hearing about anything about shabby-ass Terry Bradshaw and his gut and his nonsense. There's one number 12, Captain America, Roger Staubach.
Okay, well, there's where I have to put my foot down. I have to put
my foot's already down.
Yeah. Fucking Roger Staubach. First of all, we can have an argument about Staubach and Bradshaw all day long, but Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time.
He's still playing.
Best number 12. So what? So what? He's the best. If he died tomorrow, he'd be the best quarterback.
Well,
to ever play.
didn't we say already that we're not going to really go with players that are still playing? That's already established.
We talk about the best ever. We talk about the best ever.
Already established.
If I say a dude is still playing and does not have the skins on the wall to like if we say something like, well, he's still playing, he like I think there was a time when we talked about Mahomes and we were like, well, he's got a ways to go before he can be talked about with the greats. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about if Tom Brady's still playing, he's the best ever. Tom Brady is the man, number 12, the best ever. And if you want to, we can talk about Staubach. We can talk because it's funny. I pulled up a few stats of the Staubach.
We don't deal with
Bradshaw.
stats. We don't do stats. We don't deal with facts. We deal with the reality here.
Terry Bradshaw has 4 Super Bowls. Is that a stat for you compared to Roger Staubach's 2? That's a pretty good stat.
No,
that's not. Head to head, 2 Super Bowl wins to 0.
it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't matter.
Terry Bradshaw was a one-time.
Who was in the Navy?
Staubach 0.
Who was in the Navy? Who was
Yes.
Captain America?
Fuck the Navy. Excuse my language after last week.
Here we
Listen,
go.
Everybody out there, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
communist.
I'm bitter this week about the Navy. The Navy win.
You hate America. That's what it is. That's what it is. You love Iran. You love the fucking Taliban. There you go. That's it. Now we find out.
It's out. It's out.
Took it 112. Now we got it. You're a mole.
I'm down with the squad.
That's it. That's why I knew it.
All right. That's because he was in the Navy. That's the final argument. I got other stats in here.
Stats don't matter. I can give you stats about it. Stats are slanted. Stats don't matter. Mean anything.
All right, head to head, he won. When one guy played the other, they won.
No, it's 22 guys. Don't matter.
I don't. If we're not going to base them on head to head or stats, just that these Dallas Cowboys. That's it.
Well, that's part of it, but still, Roger Staubach is Roger Staubach. Terry Bradshaw's a half a retard, and then not that that's
doesn't
okay.
matter. It's not on the field. There's plenty of half of retards. There's plenty of full retards that were great players.
That's a good point. That I can't argue with. But
all right. Well, if you want to look at, I knew this was going to be an issue, and I was like, but I didn't think I figured you would say would have some sense about you and say, well, Tom Brady's the GOAT, but my man Roger Staubach.
We covered this. This has already been established. There's a precedent on the show that we're not really doing people that are still playing. So I'm not arguing Tom Brady.
Not if he's the best ever. He's the best ever.
All
right.
Playing.
Okay, then.
It's not even done.
In that case, the guy who beat the other guy in the Super Bowl twice is better than him.
Nah.
All right, moving on. We'll move on because you're Dallas Cowboys shit.
Are you a Saints fan or a Steelers fan? What is it? Pick one.
I'm a Saints fan. What's that got to do with anything?
Forget it.
I call it like I see it. Well, are you a Cowboys fan? Yeah, you're a Cowboys fan. So every fucking week, number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15. Dallas Cowboys.
There's only been a couple. 88, 22, 12. There's not many 11s.
8. Oh, yeah, Danny White. I'll rest my case. You brought up Danny White last week.
There was no 11s. There's not many 11s. That's all I said. Messier was good. I didn't see him, but I do the shit. Unlike you, I do shit from I don't pull up shit on my phone. I just pick numbers. I know numbers. I know all the numbers.
You don't know these stats. You know that
stats don't matter. We established that.
Two times.
Precedent has
been set. Nothing. That's my case. Done.
Precedent has been set. Stats don't matter. We don't deal in facts on the show.
Okay. All right, moving on. Urban Meyer, Webb, out in Jacksonville.
Well, we just mentioned the R word there. I do have to go back. I was intrigued by him coaching the Cowboys. I don't know what this dude was doing. I don't understand what he clearly had no. I don't know if he cared or he didn't care what he's doing. I mean, it's good for them. I think it seems like it was a real toxic situation. So I'm glad he's out. I don't know. And the dude's got to get paid to get. So he's going to pay him for another 4 years, I think, right? Or there's some type of sort of buyout.
Some type of buyout.
I don't know why we just don't get into coaching because you get paid just you suck. You get paid more. You get paid more if you lose. I don't know. Jacksonville, I think it's his Wager Makers Express. I don't know if Jacksonville. I think I saw something. They had 6 wins. I don't know, some ridiculous stat, 6 wins only once in the last 11 years or something like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm glad he's out, I guess. I'm disappointed. I thought he would be good, but fuck him.
Going in, we've been critical of Urban Meyer going in. Like, why is he doing this? You kind of retired a couple different times and said, for health reasons, for family reasons, just too much pressure, too much everything. I need to step away from. You did this a couple times already. Did it in Florida. Did it Ohio State.
Yeah, for two different health reasons. So, are you sick or are you not sick or right?
So, my question, Webb, is that it seems like Jacksonville, like the coach before this, even had an issue where like he lost the locker room, and all that kind of stuff. And so, is this just a case? And so this thing, the punter, the kicker comes out the other day. And says, look, man, one time before a game, he came up and I was stretching and he came up and kicked me in the leg and said, better make your fucking kicks or something to that effect.
Yes, I did see that. To me seems far-fetched. I don't know. I mean, it's.
Well, what's the big deal about that? What is that
Well, the kicker is making X amount of that. Yes, make your fucking kicks, dude. you're the kicker on a team that's, like,
he get his feelings hurt. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, okay, so let's just say for a minute that Urban Meyer is a good coach. And this happens many times with college coaches going to the pros. There's obviously a difference in that locker room from grown-ass 30-year-old men and
that are making $100 million,
19-year-old that are making $100 million, and 18 and 19-year-old kids, obviously. So there's going to be a different dynamic there. But is this just another case of the crybaby, bitch ass, millennial-ish age, the newer players these days, just like let's say he came in and it's like, listen, there's a new way of doing shit here.
Right. We've lost enough. I'm changing. Right.
And look, we're not like.
And there's many hurt feelings in those situations. Yeah.
Right. So I got a new quarterback coming in. We had a new running back. He got hurt. But things are different.
You got to change the culture, and that's not an easy thing. Certainly for someone who's been there, and maybe it was, I don't know, cushy or different. Maybe it's shit's harder now. That's fine. But and I don't think any of them expected them to even go 500 or something this year. But I
part of me, look, I think Urban Meyer was in over his head. We've said that going in. But there's also a part of me, like when this kicker, it just seems like things have been leaking out, like leaking news from the locker room about how he's doing this, he's losing a lot, he's doing it. It just seems, and then like, dude, you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right. This dude's got at least a couple skins on the wall. Now, not in the NFL, but in college. Isn't there a chance that maybe this dude comes into the locker room and some of these fucking strong personalities in the locker room just butted heads with him from day one and they took over? And then the leak and at one point there was a leak from the locker room. He said, if I find out who's leaking this shit, they're fired. If there's some assistant coach here that's leaking this shit in the locker room about
that. That's how it should be.
It should be like that. That shit doesn't happen to Bill Belichick. Now he's got tons of skins on the wall and they have a culture there. Well, obviously
that's just different, but that doesn't really happen. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's coming out of the Detroit Lions locker room or I don't even know who, even the Brown. Like there's some of the more dysfunctional, even the Raiders. I mean, there didn't seem like there was a lot of stuff coming out about, I agree. Like I didn't think it was that big of, even up until, he got fired. I'm like, listen, this is just some bullshit that this dude is dealing with. And he's just trying to put, it's going to be rough, hard feelings. He's got to get out with the old and with the people to buy into the program. And there's always resistance in any situation, in any organization, a sales organization. If someone buys it, there's a salesman who's been there for fucking 25 years doing things a certain way, making $1 million. His new sales boy or whatever comes in, no, dude, not doing that way. That dude's going to freak out.
Right. So, I mean, what I'm saying is the guys in the locker room, you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe it's time for a little bit of a change. You just mentioned it. They haven't won more than 6 games in forever.
Yeah.
And so, like, who's, and look, we kind of took Urban Meyer's side in that part where the girl was grinding on him in the club. That's between him and his wife.
What does that have
But
to
what
do
NFL player?
Right.
What NFL player is not out at the club the night after the game
What does that have
with
to
some
do with
girl grinding on him?
Coach? Right? Who cares? Good.
And so we did, that shouldn't have had anything to do with anything.
That's meaningless.
That's to do with his wife.
Meaningless.
Between him and his wife. And then like this other shit just seemed like petty shit. And like this kid, the kicker was like, oh, he came up. He said, listen, motherfucker, I'm the coach. I can tell you to make the kick if I want. Okay, make the fucking kick. Right. I didn't see this was a big deal.
There, don't miss kicks and don't miss extra points. Yeah, you're going to miss one from 54. Okay. Don't miss 35 yards. Don't miss any fucking extra points.
We certainly haven't been Urban Meyer fans, but just some of this stuff, it just seems like the more like it could be just an entitled locker room that just doesn't want to take any kind of
accountability
at all for a team that hasn't won games ever.
Never. I mean, it's not since Mark Brunell was the coach. We were kids. I think it was in college. But even the thing with for Coughlin's first time, Coughlin went to the Giants and had a career after that. But, I mean, even with the thing with Marvin Jones, the receiver, like this dude came from Detroit. So that's where he went to college. He was obviously a stud athlete in his youth. Where I don't know where he might have went to Florida State, which is another debacle. Then he gets drafted by the Detroit Lions, has a good career, and then they pay him X amount. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's a ridiculous free agent contract to go down to Jacksonville. And then Urban Meyer, I mean, he calls out his receivers and their coach and his assistant coaches. Listen, it's his name. Assistant coaches are going to be blasted up on SportsCenter or on any other Jacksonville talk show or any talk radio, whatever. They're not going to say, oh, the assistant coach sucks. They're going to say the head coach sucks. What's he doing with the receivers? What kind of offense is he calling? And, God forbid Marvin Jones shows up and takes some responsibility for whatever drops or dude's fucking hurt all the time. I don't even know if he played this year.
Right. And so it just seemed like this was so fast and just it was so ridiculous, the news getting out, that it had to be just the locker room just doesn't want to deal with this dude. And then like if you think about it, so Doug Marrone was the guy right before him, and he was kind of I think they acted like he was a disciplinarian that lost the locker room too. He won some play. He was the coach.
He was the guy that
had that shitty quarterback from UCF or whatever that actually won a playoff game or two, I thought.
They had, I think, maybe the number one seed, and they lost up in. It couldn't have been. I guess it probably couldn't have been a number one seed since they had to play in. I think they had to play in Foxborough.
Yeah, and went toe to toe.
Against Brady and Belichick, and that how is that a disgrace at this point? The dude's got 7 Super Bowls, and right now, fucking Belichick's got the number one seed in the NFC with a rookie quarterback. So I mean, yeah, exactly. It's always too hard, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that stems from ownership, or it's a very good point.
Yeah, in 2017, he made the conference championship, and like the year later, it was gone. This guy lost the locker room. This guy
had the number one defense in the league, I think.
Right, and then dealing with those painted Jalen Ramsey and these guys that are just jerks, and they got rid of them because those guys are jerks, and it just still seems something's weird about this. I'm not sticking up for Urban Meyer completely, but we talk a lot about the privileged athletes of this generation and all, and it just seems like there might have been some of that going on too, especially when this kicker comment. Why would you even say at this point? The dude's hanging by a thread at this point anyway, and now you're going to come out with a statement. Oh, one time before a game, he kicked me in the leg and said, "Make your kicks." Like that's when you're stressing dudes come up. Hey man, come on, let's have a day today. Come on, like that's what I get it.
Well, maybe yeah. He's like, how about you make some fucking kicks today? I mean, you're a professional athlete. Is that crazy? It's like my boss coming, hey Rob, why don't you sell something today? Okay.
Right. Do my best, coach.
Am I going to hurt my feelings?
That's the gig.
Paying me to do.
That's the gig.
And the more kicks he makes, the more money he makes. Same more should I say? It's just, the world is backwards, bro. It's backwards.
All right. So I don't know that's the case. But with some of these leaks, it just seemed a little bit like this is,
and in my opinion,
too much tattletale-y kind of shit was going on.
The thing with the stripper has 0. That's over here.
Right.
The thing with the kicker, I gave that again. That's just reeked as like a crybaby type thing.
Right.
And then I could think it came out where Trevor Lawrence was saying that the dude Robinson should play the running back, but apparently the dude fumbled
Right.
Like a bunch of times.
Yeah, he fumbled, they sat him. That happens all the time. Belichick does that every time.
Oh.
If you're a Belichick dude and you fumble, you don't see the field again sometimes.
Dude, Jimmy Johnson cut Swervin' Curvin' Richards in a preseason game because he fumbled. A dude from Pittsburgh. He was a decent running back. That's what you got to do to change. And that's it's when the Cowboys like 1-15 or whatever it was. That's what you got to do. You got to make. It sucks. Someone's got to be that example. Don't fumble
to change the culture. That's sometimes what you got to. I mean, that's why it just seemed a little. This seems a little.
Hold on to the ball.
Too much tattletale-y inside this shit. There was people against Urban inside there, and like I'm not sticking up for him. The team stinks. They're the worst team in the NFL. We're on record as saying that a million times and saying that he probably shouldn't be there to begin with. But this seems a little weird.
I can agree with you more.
All right, moving on. Coaching, a guy doing things the other way. Webb, we love it. We love him. We love him. Webb. We've talked about it a lot. Coach Prime, Webb.
Coach Prime, baby.
Coach Prime at Jackson State lands the #1 recruit in the country, steals him from Florida State, his alma mater.
2 recruit, I believe it was.
Okay, close enough.
Again, we don't get caught up on facts.
Florida State doesn't get the #1 recruit anyway. I should have known.
Right.
But this dude up and decides you want to go to Jackson State, and big time coaches in the NCAA are in an uproar about it.
I don't why. It just happened recently in college basketball where a younger athlete, one of the I think it was the number. He went to Howard, I believe, which is one of those HBC or whatever, or whatever those traditional black college universities are, or whatever it was. But why are you in uproar over that? The kid can go. Since when does a kid? Whatever does he? He has to go to a Group 5 school? I mean, where is that written?
I mean, we've talked every day about Deion Sanders, his speeches, and how he's teaching these young kids really like life lessons that they might not get somewhere else. Maybe they have they relate to Deion Sanders more than they would Dabo Sweeney and Lane Kiffin. Like Dabo Sweeney comes out to say, man, with the transfer portal and this other stuff, man, it's just. College football is in a shambles.
Why is it in a shambles?
Asshole Lane Kiffin comes out today and says about this dude and says, man, I hope this kid's getting all the money. I hope this kid gets all the money he's being promised. What kind of insult is that to the Jacksons, to the kid #1?
Right.
To
his family, to
Deion
Sanders.
Sanders.
Deion Sanders, right.
Coming from a SEC, first of all, Lane Kiffin's the biggest sellout in college coaching history.
Dude, there's a if you look up Webster Dictionary of college football whore, Lane Kiffin's pictures there. The dude's looks like 75 teams. Fuck him.
Yeah. And so, so in other words, because he picked this school over yours, somebody must be paying him big bucks. Coming from the SEC. Coming from an SEC, they pay dudes on a regular on this. They don't. How do you think they do around here?
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
And not only that, I heard something. I was listening to a podcast. Oh, it's just funny. I wanted to bring this up on the show. The Adam Shine, not that I'm bringing up anybody else's podcast, but the Adam Shine podcast. He does a lock of the night or day. His lock of the day gave the lock of the day, which we're against. And then he goes, at the end, they go, "You're welcome." So I guess they're probably listening to the show. So the Adam Shine podcast is listening to our show. Now the second part, another one. Now the second part is a caller came in. I guess he lives in Syracuse. So Deion Sanders, I guess at some point when he went to play baseball, there was something he didn't want to play for one of the other football teams, similar to I guess Eli Manning and a John Elway thing. So anyways, he went to play. He was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Apparently, and so he played AAA, and he had huge money. He got signed a contract or whatever happened. So every game, he would pay he'd have a huge post game spread. He'd bring all anyone who sponsored the sponsor jersey whatever. He'd pay for every kid to eat the huge spread after every game. So I mean, no one ever knew that. I never knew that.
Right.
And he was, so there's a lot that goes on behind Deion Sanders that I think more than the flash and the glitz. And I mean, listen, the dude made his money. He was smart. He said obviously he's before his time in terms of marketing. If this was Twitter back in the day, this dude would be fucking Bill Gates.
Right. That's what I mean. He goes into Jackson. I think he told him right away. He's like, "This is what you got the kids wearing. This is the facility here. This, and you expect people to come here and do shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
He rebranded. He did everything. He's doing everything the right way at the smallest possible thing. He could have probably gone to some big school and or middle of the road place just for him and got a coaching gig.
He would have. He could have took like an FIU or like Lane Kiffin did.
Right.
And he was there for a whole 18 months.
The kids that are good enough to play at Florida but couldn't get there for one reason or another.
Right. Either academics or trouble. Right. Exactly. And there's nothing going on under the table there. There's nothing nefarious. There's
Right. So anyway, the yin and the yang of the Urban Meyer and Coach Prime is quite evident. We're fans of the Coach Prime big time.
Prime, baby.
Anyway, congrats to Bryce Young. The Heisman, about the most boring Heisman situation ever. I thought it was so mediocre that I even thought maybe the defensive kid from Michigan had a chance to win at a certain point. But I think Bryce Young, especially after that showing against Georgia in that SEC championship, but even most of the votes are probably in by then.
But there was this. I mean, could anything come and gone more quietly or quieter? I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even bet it. I'm like, oh shit, the Heisman. I tried to look it up. I couldn't even bet it because it was just. I don't think anybody cared or anybody even knew. Like, usually there's like a big thing. I don't know, but I mean, congrats to the kid. He's got bigger things coming, obviously. So he'll be on that commercial next year.
All right, well, we're down to the Final Four in college football. You like Alabama to win it all, or what's your situation here?
I certainly like Alabama to beat the balls off of Cincinnati. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm already in minus 13.5 in all deck.
I don't know. Listen, I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I think Michigan's going to give them a decent.
Do you think Michigan can get past Georgia?
Absolutely.
I think so too. Believe it or not.
And we are not. I mean, certainly.
We are SEC beats Big Ten all day, every day.
I think Harbaugh sucks, but I don't know that. I mean, Georgia was a little exposed there. They certainly can't score. And
Alabama showed the best way to beat that defense of Georgia, and it's just quick, get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball and get athletes in space. Now, the question is, does Michigan have good enough athletes in space that Alabama does? And Alabama's their top wide receiver, I think, got hurt. Injury in that game. But that's the thing is, you get rid of the ball fast if you're Alabama, and your wide receivers, no matter how good Georgia's defense is, if they're out in space, they got a shot to make a play. And the Georgia defensive line was just worn out.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Michigan commits to something. They ran the ball down the throat of Ohio. I mean, they punched them motherfucker. That was similar to the other game that we talked about. I think that Michigan just might be better than Georgia. I don't know. They certainly can't score. If there's no way that Georgia can come back. If Georgia gets past Michigan, they can't beat Alabama, and there's no way Alabama's losing. So
Alabama just showed the blueprint. Now, whether or not there's some kind of adjustments they can make to stop the short passes by Bryce Young, we'll see what happens.
In answer to your question, though, no, Michigan is certainly not on the outside. Michigan's athletes are interior guys. They're like the dude Hutchinson. The dude Peoples is good. They have one or two athletes, but they don't have the athletes on the outside. But the thing that I liked about Michigan is that they did committed. I think they could beat. They might be able to beat Georgia up even, and then quick hit here, quick hit there.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll be able to run through that defensive line of Georgia. They're going to have to try and do what Alabama did, but I don't know if they have the horses to do that. I like their quarterback. What's that, McNamara or whatever?
Yep.
I like their quarterback. But I don't know if they have enough weapons on the outside that even if you get them to it fast, they might get just tackled right away.
Well, he's not. I mean, he's no Bryce Young, but he's not going to make any mistake. Like, he's not going to hopefully cost you the game type thing. I don't know, man. This might be one of those situations where you pass to get to the run, instead of the traditional run to get to the pass. Maybe open it up outside, and then. But I was, I've been impressed with Michigan's willingness and effectiveness in not only staying with the run, but making it work. So, and then they do take big shots. I think is the dude's name Peoples, number 8, maybe. It seems like he's always running deep. So they do have at least one guy that can put some scare into Georgia. It seems like their weakness is the secondary.
All right, Webb. Now's the time. College Bowl season is here. It's Thursday night. Game starting at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. Tomorrow, Friday, December 17th. You want to make a few picks on these college games real quick? These are tough ones. These early games are tough ones. I'll see where you're at on these, and I'll let you know who I took in the pool. We'll go from
sure. Tomorrow noon we have Toledo -10 versus Middle Tennessee State, 50.5, the Bahamas Bowl. Gambling wise, I'm going over. It's already in. I'm over 50.5. They're going to throw this ball around here. Middle Tennessee State, I think around 500. Toledo was over 500 in the MAC. Those teams cannibalize each other. There was a slight lean towards Toledo, but I did take Toledo in the pool. But there's no reason to mess around with that when it comes to dollars winning one game. And the other game to me is easy. Coastal Carolina sucks when they're not playing on that blue field. They're not covering 11 points against Northern Illinois.
All right. I have no problem taking Northern Illinois and over in Toledo in our games, but I'm letting you know in the pool, I took Coastal Carolina and I took Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, I mean, the Toledo, that's a tough one. That 10 points is going to be right there. It's always, these bowl games are weird. They're playing in the Bahamas. The Bahamas is going to be 12 noon. It's going to be hot as hell. Toledo.
Last year, I remember it was windy as all heck.
That's right. It might have been a hurricane.
It was crazy windy. Right.
It's not gonna be
and of course, the key in these bowl games is if you can figure out who's coming to play and who's not. That's 90% of the battle, and it's hard to figure out.
Who knows what's going on in the Bahamas right now? If Toledo's sitting, smoking joints or who did party? Who's taking it? Maybe so. It's the coach, dude, guys, go out, enjoy. We're here. This is gravy one way or the other.
All right, move on to Saturday. We got Western Kentucky early game, 11 a.m. Eastern. Western Kentucky and App State.
This is another weird one, a Boca Raton Bowl. It's going to be 75 degrees. I got Western Kentucky in this one +3 pretty easily. Appalachian State. Traditionally, they're pretty good. They had a little bit of a down year, I think. Western Kentucky's got the better quarterback. The dude is good.
All right. I think I took Appalachian State in the pool, just so you know. We're batting about an opposite right now so far. Right. UTEP and Fresno State.
This is easy. Fresno State's going to smoke them.
I got Fresno. UAB and BYU.
I'm not sure why this line is where it is. I am on record as a Dragons guy, but BYU is my team too. We had them many times. -7 to me seems a little generous, so maybe I'm on the wrong end of it, but I do like BYU.
All right. Liberty and Eastern Michigan.
Liberty smokes them. Malik Willis, NFL.
Eastern Michigan was one of the weaker teams of that division there. Utah State and Oregon State.
Let me just say, this may be one of those things. Liberty might be a little, I don't know, insulted one way or the other with this game. They had a real good season. Hugh Freeze is the head coach, and what is his name? Malik Willis is going to be a top 10 pick. So that's one of those things. Sometimes it goes either way, but I do like.
Well, the problem is they're 7-5, so you can't be too insulted if you play that schedule and you're 7-5.
Yeah,
then
true,
you're really just a lot of people talking about how much talent you have.
Right.
So Utah State and Oregon State.
This is a tough one. I just went straight on conference here. Utah State, they were supposed to have a down year and they didn't. But I'm going Oregon State in this one. That's a mismatch of a Utah State team, but they had a very good year.
And then the Raging Cajuns play Marshall here in the Superdome at the New Orleans Bowl. Webb.
That's easy. Last game for the coach.
He didn't stick around to lose this game.
No, they're going to fire it up, and they're going to win that game. It's a home game. That's easy.
Monday night we'll pick up till Wednesday because then we'll be back in. Then we'll pick the next week's game. Old Dominion and Tulsa.
Tulsa smokes them.
Tulsa, Kent State and Wyoming.
Wyoming.
And then UTSA and San Diego State.
I went San Diego State in that one.
And then Wednesday night, Webb, Missouri plays Army.
It's a tough one. That was a shabby display for Army.
It was. They had a great year. They had a great year, Marv.
Shabby. And then I'm going Missouri. It's athlete to athlete.
All right, there you go. That's our first week of college picks.
Well, hold on here.
Toledo.
You don't have. I guess it's South Carolina State versus Jackson State on our thing.
I don't know.
I picked Jackson State anyway.
All right. Oh, it is on our thing. I believe it is on our thing. I picked Jackson State too. That's Dion, right?
Yeah, that's what
Coach
I thought.
Prime.
I strictly off of that.
Yeah, of course. Coach Prime ain't going to the first bowl game in a long time and losing. That's for sure.
Right.
But they're favored by quite a bit. I believe.
10, just 10. I mean, that's a number, but it's not 28.
All right. Did I miss anything else for that first week?
Wyoming, Missouri, Army. The next one I got Central Florida, Florida. That's December 23rd. So I don't believe so. Unless you want to run through it, we can run through them all quickly. It's up to you. Doesn't matter.
Oh no, we'll wait till next week. There's always next week.
Perfect.
You know? And then, but we got NFL. Let's look at the NFL. We got 2 games Saturday night. I like.
It's December, baby.
I like the Chargers and the over in tonight's game.
I like the over. I do like the Chiefs.
And then 2 games. The Browns are decimated with COVID issues.
It's off the board. What's his name? Is it the third? What's the third string quarterback? I forget his name. Keenan Allen, not Keenan Allen. Case Keenum's out, so they're down to the third string. I can't get a line.
That other game, Patriots and Colts.
This to me is a blaring light. The Colts win this game easily.
Okay, I like the Colts.
2.5. Listen, don't get me wrong, but let's not send the Lombardi Trophy to Belichick yet again.
Just yet. Right. With a rookie quarterback.
Slow your roll, people. Right.
All right. Sunday games. Webb, you like anything in the NFL? We can give a few picks out.
Let's see who I like. I do like the Cowboys -11. I don't say that often. I did like them last week as well. I like the Ravens +5.5. Believe it. Is Lamar Jackson playing?
I don't know. It's still question, I believe.
Okay. The Packers are due for a loss. This is going to be a loss that really won't hurt them too much. Let me see. Cardinals, that was devastating news that what's his name is out.
Yeah, Hopkins.
That changes their entire outlook. I like the Rams over the Seahawks -5.5. And I do like the Vikings. The Bears are smoked by COVID as well. Allen Robinson's out. There's no other offensive talent on that team.
All right, so that's the Colts, Cowboys, Ravens, Rams, and Vikings. We'll leave it at that for now, just because there's so much COVID. It's so much COVID. Keep an eye on the COVID situation.
What's going on with why are the Eagles laying 9.5? Because Taylor Heineke's hurt? Like, is he's that?
Yeah, and not only that, I think they have a bunch of guys COVID and like their quarterback room. They're down to like their 3rd or 4th quarterback, I believe.
Isn't that what's his name? Kyle Allen? Well, he's okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think he might even possibly.
Right. Okay.
He's banged up or something too. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why all these games. It's a little early yet. Maybe we'll wait till Sunday. We'll put out some picks on Sunday morning.
Gotcha.
Social media. So Colts, Rams, Vikings, Cowboys, Ravens. Everybody, get in the pool.
Please.
Go to the store. Share it, like it, spread it, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Thank you all for listening. Congrats to Scott Wheatley. Thank you for the shirt and my wife's socks and the sweatshirt. Little Rock, the Buffalo Grill, Little Rock, Arkansas. Nick Perone, MN3 Technologies, George Burge and Wilbur Investigations. And thank you all for listening. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Everybody get in the pool. Free money at the holidays. What's better than that? And for all the picks, you're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Webb and Smith.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker podcast with Spit and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Wager Maker Podcast. It's that wager maker podcast. It's that wager maker podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.